What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Whiskey and Winners. Guys, I got some good news for you. College football is officially here. But before we get too far into this and too far down the road, I'd like to ask all you guys if you like what we're doing here, follow, subscribe, share the links, do all the things. I'm gonna keep coming back and doing this every week because I love college football and I kind of enjoy hanging out with these two knuckleheads. But if you appreciate what we're doing, and certainly if you make a little money along the way by following us, show us some love and leave us a little reward by liking, subscribing, sharing. Get all your degenerate friends to do the same thing, and we'll keep coming back week after week and show some love to you guys by giving you some winners. Second point of note, as we kind of do a little housekeeping here, I'm assuming that if you're paying attention to this and you're listening along, that you are likely not new to sports wagering. And therefore, I'd also likely assume that you probably have a sports book or a place to get your action down. But if you don't, hit me up and I can make some phone calls and get you hooked up with a little place if you want to get some action down on week zero. It is week zero, so we don't have a big slate. We've only got a handful of games, but that gives us a unique opportunity to do something a little bit different tonight. And we are going to go through every game on the board. Now, we are going to tell you what we like. We're going to tell you what we don't like. We're going to talk about numbers that moved and numbers that are gone. And we're going to tell you if we actually put a little bit of money on anything. But there's a big difference between having an opinion and throwing some coin on a play. So make sure you pay attention between the differences, a lean and a play. So as we get ready to get started, grab a drink. We're going to head over across the pond here and get started in Dublin shortly. But before we do, I got to bring in the fellows that make this fun for me and find out what they're sipping on tonight so we know what's really important. Chad, I'm going to assume, as always, and you being a creature of habit, that you're going to be sipping on a Bud Light, and you're starting to
Yes.
look more and more like Dylan Mulvaney every damn time I see you, so you might need to change it up a little bit. But tell me how you do it, Chad.
Nah, it is Bud Light, but I gotta turn the label around because YouTube likes to cut you off.
Yeah. All right, Brian. I know you're a real man, so I'm gonna assume you're drinking some nice brown smoothness in that glass. Tell me what you got that you're sipping on, brother.
I'm sipping on some Weller 107. It's a staple, especially during football season. I know that doesn't really include the whiskey, but that's a FSU colored label. It's from Buffalo Trace, 6 to
I
8
was
year
I was just
Nashville.
thinking to ask you for
Very
those of
sweet
us that
whiskey.
are not the
If you get a
bourbon
chance to
experts.
try it, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to tell us which color label that is for those of us that might not have known. All right, guys, as we get started, we're going to go in chronological order here today. We are going to start across the pond in Dublin, Ireland, where it seems like for the last few years, weird stuff goes to happen. Last time I was looking, that number is hovering around TCU 8.5, 9, 9.5. We got us an over under around 47, 47.5. It looks like Brian's having some internet issues. So, Chad, I'm going to start with you. Chad, tell me what you got. Give me some thoughts on that UNC TCU game.
Yeah, so at this game here, Ireland, it's roughly a 7 to 8 hour flight. Um, these kids are dealing with a completely different, like, just body clock. Even if they get there a week early, get an adjustment, it's different. I think the game kicks off at three. No, what is it? 5 p.m. their time, but there's like a 6 or 7 hour difference. So I feel bad for the kids. It's a rough journey across the pond. I've got UNC +8. I think this is going to be a very low scoring affair based off of the travel. If we're doing analysis now, we can jump into that, or if we want to just quick, this is what it is. You tell me what you want to go.
So you told me in advance you've since it's a light slate, you said you're going to play everything on the board, so we'll know that anything you're talking about is an actual play. As I'm looking at the board, I can get you UNC plus the 9.5. So for the records, we'll give you 9.5 for your play on UNC. The line move on that one early, at 6.5, I was struggling with it because everything in me tells me TCU wins this game. I tell you, at 6.5, I probably would have played TCU and laid it under a touchdown. At 9.5, I'm gonna probably stay away, but I would lean towards UNC plus the points. and probably a small lean on the under just because weird stuff happens over there in Ireland. And I would suspect one, if not both of these offenses will struggle a little bit over there early in the season. Brian, it looks like we've got some visual and possibly an internet connection back there in the middle of nowhere where you live. You got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, if you can hear me, I lost connection, but this is, like he said, going across the pond. It's going to be a tough game for everybody. I mean, last year TCU smoked UNC in Chapel Hill. Typically, when they play in the Ireland game, the underdog is pretty successful. They're taking an offense over there from last year that was ranked 129th in the country, but they're turning that offense over to Bobby Petrino, which everybody knows, whether you like him or not. Bobby Petrino is going to have a decent offense for college football.
All right,
so TCU has also got a new offensive coordinator in Gordon Sammies. He came from Utah. From UConn. It's a lot slower pace. So I will take the under 24.5 for the first half in this game.
All right, Chad, go ahead and chime in what you were going to give us.
All right, so guys, my models, the Sims, I've got the score. I ran it 5,000 times. I got TCU 28, UNC 21. TCU wins 69% of the time. UNC plus 8 covers 56% of the time. I've got a push at 5% of the time. TCU, we know, is a better team. We all know that. Like, everyone looked at it and they're like, oh, better team. But this is a normal game. I mean, it's 8 hours across the Atlantic. It's 6 hours ahead of time. I think it gets off to a slow start.
Yeah, trying to read the line movement, that line starting at 6.5. I think the Sharks hammered it. I think it's at an unplayable number now if you wanted to play TCU. I'm with you. I kept running my models. You got 28-21. My average score keeps coming around 27-20. I'm right there with you guys. I think the lean, the plays for me, if I had to play it, would be UNC plus the points and the under. Chad, I know you got to play. We'll circle back on this and make sure everybody gets the final plays when we do the recap. But yeah, that line movement's that's a big deal going from 6.5 to 9.5. And as it stands now, I think UNC is the right side, but I think TCU wins the game.
Absolutely.
We move on to the second game. We got 3 p.m. game on NBC. Got the San Jose State Spartans at the USC Trojans. Huge line last I saw was Southern Cal favored by 39.5, over under 60.5. That's a big number, Brian. What's your thoughts on that game?
No.
All right, Brian is AWOL again. Chad, what you got?
All right, yeah, I'll pick it up, man. I've got I'm taking plus 38. That's a lot of numbers, Greg. That's a lot of points. You and I have been doing this a long time. 38, I've actually got that put in a teaser. We can talk about later, but USC finished last year 9-4 in 2025, 7-2 in the Big Ten play. What's important here, though, Luke Weaver is the confirmed starter. So I'm taking the points. I think it's all the way. For me, it's you either take the points or you pass. My models say it's a 62% take it, and it's a cover.
Yeah, I'm with you. If this is another one of those, I'm passing on this. If I had to make a play, I would certainly take I see the up to 38.5 now. It looks like all the 39.5s are gone. Yeah, I'm with you. You take the San Jose State plus 38.5 and hope for a backdoor cover along the way. As I dig into this, there may be some team total options. I know USC is going to try to run it up. I know Lincoln Riley wants to throw it all over the place, and they're going to try to get their points. So there may be a team total Southern Cal play that might be something we could look into. But it's a pass for me. But I'm with you on the lean. I agree with you. I would think that taking the 38.5 would be the right way to go. And the totals right there, my model keeps coming up with somewhere around 49-10. So that total of 60.5, I don't have any real value on it. I would probably, just because it's Southern Cal, I'd probably take the over, just assuming that if San Jose State covers the 38.5, it's probably on a backdoor cover at the end where somehow they get to 14 or 17, and that probably goes over the total.
Yeah, so my model hit 38 USC to 10, which is why I'm so like just all over the 30 plus 38. Like
Yeah,
I believe USC wins a game. I'm just betting that San Jose State. Gosh, I'm betting UFC doesn't need to win at this point by 39. I think maybe they take some people out, recover, rest, and wait for the next week because everybody knows, like even the big name teams, the first game they play is always a laydown. Look at Georgia's first game. Look at Alabama's first game. They're all like gimmies. And in this game, I feel the same way. But on my model, USC wins 97% of the time.
Brian, San Jose State at Southern Cal. Do you have opinions, and are you capable of sharing them with us?
Yes, I've reset my internet, so I hope I'm good to go now. USC, San Jose, like he said, usually in the beginning of the year, you never know, but typically that's going to go the way Chad was talking. But on a Lincoln Riley team, he's known to run the score up on the at the beginning of the year. So he averages 61 points a game in their first game against a team of inferior competition like that. So, and one thing people might not know is they brought in Gary Patterson as their DC this year, which is very overqualified for that job. So I think their defense is going to be better than a typical Lincoln Riley defense because you got a head coach coaching their defense this year. I feel like he's going to put a lot of pressure on San Jose, which is going to try to run a fast-paced offense, which also leads to a high-scoring ball game. The last 2 years against teams like that, they beat Missouri State 73-13. They beat Georgia Southern 59-20. So my play on this ball game, I feel like they're going to have the gas pedal on them, and they're going to especially be on the gas pedal early. I'm going to take USC as a team total over 27.5 for the first half.
Ah, smart man.
Solid. I like that look a lot.
Brian, what do you think the total ends up being? The total score?
All right, I got one little thing on that. So it opened at 55.5. It quickly went up to 60.5. This is what worries me about the total. You got 92% of the tickets are coming in on the under. So that tells a gambler that's been at this a long time, the big money's coming in on the over. So to me, I'd have to lean towards the over, just following the number.
I don't have a play on it that I'd pull the trigger on yet, but I'm with you, Brian. I'm seeing the over at DraftKings right now at 59.5. And I'm telling you, I think Southern Cal may get to 50 by themselves, and San Jose State is going to get to double digits, maybe 13 or 17 on a late touchdown. I hadn't made it an official play yet, but my lean is to that over at 59.5. I might make a play on the over, even though I hadn't fired yet.
Gosh, you just never know how these teams are going to come out the first week. I mean, it's the first week, guys, and some of these teams are traveling. It's like this is a crapshoot, but we're trying to make the best out of what we can given the last year's numbers and our models.
That's the name of the game.
And first weeks now are a lot harder than they used to be because you got 50 or 60 players on every team new because of the transfer. So it definitely makes it difficult.
Yep, and the card sucks. I mean, honestly, like I can't believe they did not pump this up and make the first week a little better going into the weekend.
All right, we move on to the 3:30 game on ESPN. We got NC State Wolfpack at the Virginia Cavaliers. The numbers I'm seeing right now, I got Virginia minus 4.5. I see some 3.5s. Over under looks like it's sitting right at 51.5 across the board. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a play on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there and then go to you guys. Give me the Wolfpack plus the 4.5, whatever you can get it at, as long as it's north of 3. I like the Wolfpack in this one. I think that's a sneaky underrated team. I like C.J. Bailey at quarterback. Give me NC State to keep this one close within the 4.5, and I think I think that's a winner, and I know we might be circling back to some NC State love later on in the show as a
Yeah,
little fair warning for some of you guys.
yeah, yeah.
Brian, what's your thoughts on NC State and Virginia?
I'm with you with NC State. I feel like that they have a good team. One thing that we probably didn't talk about that we should probably talk about was originally this game was scheduled to be in Brazil. So, but that game got moved now to Charlottesville. I feel like that's not a bad thing for either one of them. A couple stats I can give everybody out there is Dave Doran is 4-0 straight up and against the spread in his last 4 games against Virginia, and 3 or 4 of those wins are by double digits. So I like you said, C.J. Bailey. I feel like he's a good quarterback. One name I'm gonna give everybody out there, I did some looking at, and you'll hear a lot about him this year, especially with Hollywood Smothers transferring to Texas, is Jaden Duke Scott. I don't know if y'all will look at that or not, but he was named to the Bruce Feldman's Freaks list. So he's a 5'10", 223-pound running back. He runs a 4.35 40, 405 power clean, a 5.75 squat, and a 38.5-inch vertical.
Last
Last year they ran the ball 216 yards against Virginia. So I don't have official play in this game, or I do have official play. My official play on this game is going to be under 53.5. I feel like they both want to run the football, and I think they're going to run the football. But one thing I will be looking at is Duke Scott's rushing yards at 66.5.
I gotcha. Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is, and Virginia was a feel-good story last year. They overachieved massively, in my opinion. And I know we all, as professional cappers, try not to do it, but every one of us is guilty of rolling stuff from one year to the next. I think part of last year's success for Virginia is baked into this number. I just don't think they're a better team than NC State. I think it's a pretty even matchup. So if I'm getting 4.5 points, I'm liking that. And I'm with you, Brian. I think it's an under game. My models keep having this game. I think I keep seeing like 24-23, that kind of score showing up on all my models. So I'm with you. I got to play on NC State. I got them at plus 4.5, and I would lean on that under as well. Chad, what you like in that game?
The email I sent to you was I like the under 48 for sure because I agree with everything Brian just said. Everything that he said, probably 60% of it I'd already read. And I'm actually going to do something crazy here. I don't want the points. I'm going to take I want the money line.
Yeah, about 185 or so.
Yeah, plus 185 is what I see.
Plus 185. Yeah, I've got North Carolina State money line as a dog. The point it's plus 185. That's what I like. I think if it's a 4, guys, if we're looking at a 4 to 5 point game and we've got a good rushing game, I've learned from a long time ago. I used to always look for like which favorite can win. Now I'm always looking for like which underdog has the most value in the points. And I think they went out right. So I'm taking the money line. And that's in my parlay as well.
I don't hate it at all. Like I said, I'm going to take them plus the 4.5. I will not be surprised at all if they win that game. All right, let's move on to.
Keep an eye on Duke Scott. Keep an eye on Duke Scott in that game. He's a player.
Hey, the only thing I do want to say is, just in my opinion, right now it's 5.5. Like at my place where I go, my model says it's a 3-point game, and that's running it 5,000 times. Actually, I ran it 2 more times after that, and basically it's leaning me toward NC State, guys. So I'm going to trust everything that I've built, and I'm going to go from there. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's weird, too. I'm seeing 3.5s across the board, but one lone 5.5 is sitting out there that I'm seeing. Yeah, I'd grab that 5.5 for sure.
I don't want to say the place I'm using until they pay me, but it's at 5 right now. 5.5.
All right. Let's move on. 5:30 on CBS. We got Jacksonville State at North Dakota State. I'm looking at right now. We got 6.5, 7.5 for North Dakota State as a favorite. over-unders, 46.5, some 47s out there. Yeah, I think a lot of this, everybody talk about North Carolina or North Dakota State bumping up in competition this year. Just my personal opinion. I kind of think if they'd been in this league already a few years, this wouldn't be only a 7-point spread. I think it'd be double touchdowns. I
Yeah.
think it'd be closer to 13 or 14. Look, I may be missing something. I think North Dakota State is a superior football team across the board. I got them at 6.5 as an official play. I'm seeing 7s and 7.5 now. If you can hang around, I think that 6.5 will pop again. I love North Dakota State at home minus 6.5 in this one. Chad, what's your thoughts?
I've gone back and forth with this. Actually, my lean is the under 48 in this game.
I agree.
It's the under. I mean, yes, I think they're great. Look, I've got a laundry list of stats I can give you: quarterbacks, rushing yards, both teams now moving up. But when you move up in divisions, you move up in like different caliber guys. Like I won't get into that, but it's different. And once you start playing against a bigger team, bigger guys that are the same size, faster than you, the game can slow down considerably. And that's why I think the under is a play here.
I don't disagree. Brian, what's your thoughts on Jacksonville State, North Dakota State?
I'm not seeing the same thing you're seeing. I think that's all hype from the FCS. I know the Fargo Dome's a good place to play. You're going to give 7.5 points or some of the lines I've seen to a team playing their first game against a team that went 9-4 last year, 9-5 last year, is a bowl team. Jacksonville State, I agree. They got a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach. They lost the nation's leading rusher to West Virginia and Cam Cook. I think both teams play the same way. They're going to grind the clock out. So I do like Chad's underplay. Jacksonville State's defense is the strongest unit on the field, in my opinion. So
I agree.
If I was to lean, I'm leaning. I'm not putting anything in that game because there's too many unknowns, and I think that crowd in the Fargo Dome is going to be crazy and make it tough. I would lean Jacksonville State plus 7.5 if it was me.
Yeah, I would certainly probably have second thoughts on laying the 7.5. I grabbed the 6.5. I think North Dakota State covers 6.5, 7.5. I think they win by double digits.
I do too.
But as far as betting it through that number, I don't know that I would feel as confident and I wouldn't lay the same amount at 7.5 that I did at 6.5. I can promise you that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm with both you guys too. I do lean the under on that. I think it'll be a slow paced game. I think my models kept showing it being, I think I got like 27-17 is kind of an average score. I think it keeps it well under 50. All right, moving on to a game that I know nothing about, and I'm going to just pretend like I do. 6:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus. We got Sacramento State at Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan minus 9.5 last I saw. Total floating around 54, 54.5. I don't know anything about much of either one of these teams. I believe Eastern Michigan is green, so I do have that going for me. But I'm going to defer to Chad. Say, Chad, I want you to give me an absolute stone cold lock winner on this piece of shit football game.
Well, you know where my money usually goes, and it's all teams.
Take the points.
Yeah, I'm on Sacramento State plus 9.5, but I've bought the hook down to 9. EMU, they're allowing 29.8 per game, and the biggest defensive problem in their thing, EMU gave up roughly 232 rushing yards a game. One of the worst run defenses in the country, guys. I didn't say like in the southeast, northeast, whatever. In the country, they have the worst run defense. That matters. That's a huge thing. So, I mean, give me the points. I'm going to go with it. So, I'm all over it. My model's got it at EMU wins 64% of the time, but Sacramento covers 64% of the time, which is a weird thing to hear. So I'm rolling with my models. I trust everything I've built into it. That's where I'm going.
I'm with you. I mean, again, this is not one I can pretend to have any sort of real knowledge on. I do tend to say, look, when in doubt, on especially in college sports, take the underdog, take the unders. It should be a 50-50 proposition, but I swear unders and underdogs hit more than overs and favorites. Brian, give us something insightful on Sacramento State, Eastern Michigan. Be one of the three of us that actually knows something worthwhile.
I had to dig into this a little bit and listen to some other stuff and reading. Sacramento State by no means was ready to make this jump. So one thing that they offered to go ahead and be in the FBS, if anybody knows this, y'all might have knew this, they're paying for the road travel for everybody that comes to Sacramento State to play them. They're paying all the travel fees for the teams they're playing against to be able to come up. So anyhow, this game is not at Sacramento State. It's at Eastern Michigan. And Sacramento State's been known to run the ball, so that's one thing that might go to help Chad out with that because they will run, and Eastern Michigan's not good against the run. The only things I could find is that they lean heavily on the run. They have a lot of transfer players. Their best players probably came from Miami and Colorado, which is a decent programs, but not where you really want to be. They're playing on the road at Rice-Near Stadium, which y'all probably have seen it on the field because they're the infamous gray turf field. So I would lean. I didn't make a play in this game because I have no idea where to put my money at on this game. If I was leaning somewhere, it would be to the under 53.5. Or there's a couple lines out there I looked at, Sac State plus 3.5 for the first quarter because I think they're going to give you everything they got for that first quarter, and then that's probably about it.
Have you guys ever noticed, let's call it 10 years ago, you're watching a game and it's got this weird turf color, the game always went over? Am I right or wrong? I mean, honestly. Like, you're looking at this weird-ass turf, and it's...
Boise and the blue turf went over a lot.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to do you and all of our listeners a solid. I don't care what kind of degenerate if you are. If you're having to dig down into quarter lines and totals for Sac State, Eastern Michigan, brother, just find a different game to bet on.
Yeah.
You don't need action that bad.
Pass. Yeah, pass on that shit.
All right. I am making an executive decision. Nowhere on the recap screen will any first quarter BS of Eastern Michigan and Sacramento State show up.
Hey, you told me to dig in and find something, so I found something. That'll be the one. That'll be the one that hits.
I bet it behind Brian. Like, I trust in him, so I'm riding with him. I've probably got 13 bets already, and it's only like an 8-game slate.
That is such a stupendously horrific college football match that we just had to talk about that I'm now actually excited to talk about Hawaii and Stanford, and that's saying something. Hawaii and Stanford, 7 o'clock on the ACC network. I'm seeing Stanford minus 3.5, 4. I'm seeing totals at 48, 48.5, a couple of 49s. This is another one I got to play. Give me Hawaii plus, I got it at 4.5 earlier. Give me the 4, whatever you can grab. Again, you got to convince me why Stanford's more than a field goal favorite against anybody. I don't care if they're playing in Stanford, on the moon, wherever they're playing. Stanford ain't no damn good. Give me Hawaii plus the 4.5. Chad, what are your thoughts over there?
I had to take a breath on that one. I went money line. I'm taking Hawaii money line, and I'll tell you why. I know they're plus 5. I don't want the points. Warren has been the biggest powerhouse in the pedigree, but it's a new Stanford situation. Things have changed. Hawaii beat Stanford 23-20. Last year it was like 27 of 39 for 210 yards, and Micah Ford rushed for 113 yards and 26 carries. For me, Stanford's gonna win the game. I do think Stanford's gonna win the game, but
then why are you taking a wide money line, dumbass?
because the line is so close that I feel like it is worth the gamble. I told you I'm not the guy that's going to bet if it's -4 or 5. I'm taking the sharp. I'm not doing that. But I'm taking the returning quarterback and the points against a new Stanford quarterback. You forget Stanford has a new quarterback coming in. This looks like
I do,
one-score game.
and
So why would I not?
I'm gonna 100% rely on Brian to be smart enough to take the points with Hawaii and follow my lead on this one and not go crazy. I think Hawaii might win the game. I don't think you're wrong, but I absolutely have to call you out if you say Stanford's going to win the game. But I'm taking Hawaii money line.
All right, about
Dude, if Stanford won, I would not be surprised. But I'm saying you have a different quarterback. So I'm gambling. I'm putting my money.
You made Brian finish his bourbon with that shit, Chad.
I got more about that Stanford quarterback. It's Davis Warren. Y'all remember him? He beat Ohio State when he was at Michigan in 2024. Got a new coach, Trevita Pritchard. He was Andrew Luck's teammate at Stanford in 2008, 2009. So you already know what kind of offense they're looking at running. They're going to the Jim Harbaugh, ground it out, don't throw the ball 10 or 12 times a game, rely on your defense game. I don't know that that's where they're at yet, but that's where they're planning to go. So to me, I'm staying away from any sides or anything in this game. If I was to bet this game, I would take the under 49.5 just because it's a week 0 game, and I already know what Stanford is trying to do is grind the clock out. Hawaii typically does not do very well when they come on the road. So if I'm not making a play, but if I leaned away, it would be to the under 49.5.
Yeah, my model says the under was the play as well. I definitely don't see this one getting into some sort of shootout. Chad, you got a feeling on the total?
I do. Actually, I was gonna throw hey, give me a second. My model, I ran it 4 times. Stanford 27, Hawaii 24. And you're like, well, Chad, why are you still taking Hawaii plus points?
Well, that covers.
It's a football game. No, excuse me. If I'm just taking the money line, if I'm not taking any points, I still think Hawaii wins this game, even though my model shows 27-24. I think it's such a close of a game. The 4 to 5 points, I'm willing to lay that and run with it. But that's just me. Do what you do with your own money.
Yeah, you and I think we're right there on the spread. Like I think it'll be. I mean, that's why I have to take the 4 points. I just don't see either one of these teams winning by more than a field goal at the end. I just think it's gonna be a little more low scoring than you. But again, early in the season, it's just really hard to tell.
Well,
but the good news is go ahead, B.
I'm saying it opened, around 6, and it got hammered quickly. So that's the reason it got down to 3.5, and that scares me a little bit.
And that makes me think a little bit of a low scoring game when it gets dropped down like that.
I think it will be. My model keeps coming up with like 23, 21, 24, 22 type scores. I've got Stanford. I got Stanford squeaking it out in most of mine, but I got Hawaii covering more often than not.
All right, so if it's a squeak game, which earlier you said, like with Chad, you said this, but in Hawaii, I'm saying, dude, if it's so close, fuck the points. I mean, let's just run it money line and let's make the extra money. Like, there's so many bets on the board. I'm okay if it loses.
If it was 2.5, I'd be playing at plus 140 money line, but I'm not passing up 3.5 or 4 points.
Well,
I lean under. I lean under.
For sure.
All right, so we got some disagreement on that. That makes for some interesting follow-ups when we come back to the recap. But now we get to move on to a 7 o'clock game. Hey, Brian, why is your football team playing on the CW? But anyway, we'll get back to that. We got a game that one of us actually knows something about. My boy's is about as plugged into the Florida State program as you got, so we ought to get some insider information on this. We ought to find out how in the hell they going to beat anybody by 32 points. I got them minus 31.5. I saw some 30.5s pop up. Total sitting around 53.5, 54. I can't get down on this, Brian, as much as I want to, just because of you and I want to have some action on Florida State. I can't time in anything money line because there's no value on that crap at all. I can't lay 30 points with the Seminoles against anybody at the moment. Look, Ashton Daniels may go on to win the Heisman. We're all praying for you, B. I know it's good, but 30, 31 and a half, 30 and a half, that's a monster number. I can't get there. Chad, we go let you hang in last. We're gonna let Brian go first since he's plugged into
Thank
the
you.
program. B, tell me what we should be looking for Saturday night on the CW.
To your first question, we're playing on the CW because we won 7 games in 2 years, and we have not won a road game in 2 years. So there you go.
I
So
want to say the last time I was tuned into the CW, I was in college, and I think I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
well, we have a bad track on the CW because that's when Jordan Travis broke his leg, and we got snubbed out of the playoff. But that's for conversation for another day. This is a huge, massive talent gap. Obviously, that's the reason it's 31. Heavy money came in on FSU, 66% at the beginning. 70% came in on FSU. Right now, 66% of the money's on New Mexico State plus 31.5. I think that FSU, knowing that on Labor Day night they play SMU, this is going to be the most vanilla looking offense that you ever seen. It's going to be run, slants, quick stuff. It's not. FSU's got 50 new players, got 50 new starters on offensive line. That's the reason that you wouldn't want to bet the 31 when you've got 50 new players in there. So I'm with you on that. I think this could be a good game to look at live betting because if New Mexico State was to get an early score and you're able to get FSU at a lower number, or Florida State jumps out on New Mexico State and you're able to get them in the plus 38, plus 40 something range, that might be a good way to go with that. I feel like that Florida State, on the first games, Norvell is known for jumping out on the team and scoring a lot of points. That's why I stayed that way. My official play on this game will be FSU minus 18.5 for the first half. After the first half, I feel like I feel like New Mexico is going to kind of mail it in as well. Florida State's going to be trying to get ready for the SMU game. We are not deep at all. We have no depth, especially on the defensive line. So we're going to try to get those starters out of the ball game, try to get them ready for the SMU game. It's going to be a grind the clock type of game. So I think the majority of the action is going to be in the first half. So my official play, like I said, is going to be the minus 18.5 on the first half. One thing I will give everybody out there, if you like prop bets, look at Usman Kromah for over 75.5 rushing yards and over a half of a touchdown. He's had an excellent camp, spring and fall. He will be your starting running back for Florida State. New Mexico State cannot stop the run. Usman Kromah, if they keep him in the ball game, will go over that 75 pretty quickly, and he'll definitely get a touchdown. So those are two to look at, but my official play will be Florida State minus 18.5 for the first half.
I really like the Chroma touchdown prop. I'd hesitate on the yards just because this can get out of hand. I just don't know how much they're going to want to feed him to get to that number, which really boils into why I can't make a play on this, because there's a part of me that can justify, hey, Florida State can win this game by 50, and they might want to because it's been a rough couple of years. But then, like you said, it doesn't do them any good to go out there and win this game by 50 and then lay an egg later. So it's just a hard thing for me to predict. This is one of those you can clearly see at some point, like you said, either right before halftime or early in the third quarter, it's 35-7 type game. And then just from there, it doesn't matter anymore. And you just don't know what's going to happen. And from that point on, that's why it may be worth a sprinkle live. Like you said, if you see something fluky one way or another and you can get a good number. I can't lay the points and I can't take the points because I know Florida State can out-town them and win by 50 if they want to. Chad, where are you going on this one?
FSU absolutely wins. We know that.
We hope.
But I don't think they win by 32 every time. So my model in the Sims, I reran it again today. Final score shows 45-10. I'm still tricking a few things. Final score, it shows it 39 FSU, New Mexico State 11. FSU wins 99% of the time. New Mexico State 1%. New Mexico State covers 55% of the time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, my model keeps coming up with like 42-10 type things. I think the number's right on. I just on principle, I know one thing. When it comes to college football, especially, it is a whole lot easier to take 30.5 than to lay it. I don't care who's playing.
I think there's a good shot that we both win, Chad. I
think it is. Yeah. I like your half bets because they're a little more safe versus my long like God, can these guys plus 31 cover? I really believe my models. I believe everything I put into the work. So that's why I've bet every game that I say tonight. I'm on it. Like I've got cash on it. So
I'm always going.
All right, let's move on to the nightcap. 10 o'clock, we got Memphis at UNLV on Fox. The last number I saw had UNLV minus 4.5. I had the total was 56.5. This is another one, guys. I'm going to tell you, I'm all over Memphis plus the 4.5. It's probably my favorite play. That and the NC State player, probably the two, with the North Dakota State minus 6.5 is a slightly below that. But I love Memphis plus the 4.5 at UNLV. Brian, what's your thoughts on this one?
I can get you Memphis plus 5.5 because that's what I got it at earlier.
I'll take it for record keeping. I'm already locked in on 4.5, but I'll take it for the show.
It's going to be tight. This is going to be a high scoring ball game. I mean, I feel like UNLV has a very good chance to rep the Power Six. I mean, not the Power Six, the Group of Six in the playoff. But so does. Obviously lost their head coach to Arkansas and Ryan Silverfield, but Charles, he's not the greatest coach, but he did bring a couple good coordinators in with him. I think that this game right here is going to be probably the best game of the weekend as far as they're going to be.
Agree.
It's basically a Group of Six elimination game. If you lose this game, you're out. So that's 60.5 for the total, and it got quickly hammered down to 56.5. But their defense last year is terrible. They gave up 8 points a game. If I was going to bet on the side, I would lean towards the over in this game. I'm not sure, but I will take Memphis plus 5.5. I feel like this. You may hear some of this later on in the podcast, but damn.
Yeah, I think you got to. I'm with you there. Chad, what you got?
I agree. I like the points. I didn't put that in my official plays. That's a lean. I would go with that. What I saw earlier was plus 4.5. But my strongest play out of everything is the over in this game. I like it over straight up. I like it over in a teaser. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I've got in front of me. For me, this is the biggest bet pretty much on a roster. 99% of previous passing production, 100% of rushing production, 88.5% receiving production. Quarterback, Memphis, still working through Marcus Stokes versus Air Noland. I mean, where are we at with that, guys? The competition has kind of remained like active and entertaining. I don't know why I'm still taking them. I think Charles Huff brought in 17 transfers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that?
I was going to mention that, Chad, when you was talking about that you're going to hear things out there that people say, oh, Memphis is only returning one starter, da-da-da-da-da.
Only one of their starters.
He did. Yeah. So we're looking at 17 transferred, including major defensive additions. So with that, I mean, fourth nationally in takeaways last season. Fourth nationally in takeaways. That's huge. My model has this game at UNLV 31, Memphis 27. Guys, I'm all over the over. I'm going to bet the over. I'm going to tease the over, whatever it comes to. UNLV is a better team. We know it. Y'all know that. Memphis has a new coach, a ton of transfers, and a defense that was fourth nationally in takeaways last year, which is a little scary. Uh, but that's where I'm leaning.
All right. Well, for the poor souls that are trying to follow along and make some money listening to this, I am quite certain at this point we have probably officially talked them into and out of about every play on the board. So before we start doing any kind of irresponsible parlays and teasers and all the fun stuff, Brian, help me go through a recap screen. Everybody, let's try to give up our like legit actual plays so we don't confuse anybody with the leans. So let's go back through real quick and just talk about what we're actually on. Brian, I'll let you start us off. What's your actual plays for the slate so far?
Just mine, or you want everybody?
Yeah, just go for just yours right now.
All right, mine was TCU UNC under 24.5 first half. USC team total over 27.5 for the first half. North Carolina State, Virginia under 53.5. FSU minus 18.5 for the first.
All right, Chad, you got yours on tap, or you need Brian to go through them for you?
Good. So we've got UNC plus 8. I like under 48 as well. If you can buy the hook at 48, that's cool. North Carolina State, I like the line. I don't want the points. I want the plus 185. We got under 48 in North Dakota State. Sacramento State, we got plus 9.5. Mexico State plus 31. Hawaii money line plus 184. And I like the over 56 and 56.5 in UNLV, which I've teased also as well.
All right, and I got three official plays as of now. I got NC State +4, Memphis +4.5, and Hawaii +4.5. And again, some of those lines may be off by half a point or so. They may have moved around since we put them on the sheet or been doing this. Yeah, that's right. I got that's in my secondary plays, but I hadn't got down there yet. All right. So, do you have a favorite play out of your list, Chad? If you
Over
could only make one bet Saturday, what would it be?
over whatever the number is in the UNLV game.
All right, Brian. If you could only make one play Saturday, what would it be? All right. I think my favorite play for Saturday is the NC State game. I got them at plus, I think 4.5 on my site, but I think that's my favorite one of the plays. So, all right, we're gonna do something a little bit fun here as we close out every show each week. We're gonna let Chad name it once he gets creative and can come up with something fun. We're gonna do a 7-point teaser at the end of every show, and we're gonna do a money line parlay at the end of every show. So now that we've spent the entire show preaching discipline and all that, let's immediately undo all of that stuff. So we got three people, three picks, and 7 points to help us in that direction. So Chad, give me your first leg of the 7-point teaser.
I want to go a 7-point teaser. It's going to be over 49.5 UNLV.
All right, Mr. Nobles, give me your favorite leg with 7 points. All right. Well, if you go do that, give me Hawaii plus the 7. And I hate not getting a half in a teaser because I hate losing on a push on the set. So if Hawaii loses by exactly 11 points to all of our followers, show me your ticket and I'll reimburse you. How about that guarantee?
No, don't do that.
All right. So that's three brilliant minds. That's got to be
Greg, I think you're froze. Or you're on mute. Yeah, Greg. Good. Can we get like a permanent mute on him? 20 years ago, I wish I had a fucking like a
It's what happens when you don't when you forget to hit your phone on Do Not Disturb. Can y'all see me now, or y'all just hear me?
No, we're just waiting on you to figure out what life is doing.
I can't tell you. Somebody called me, and so now I may be off camera. But anyway, don't throw out some minus 3,000 stuff. Just give me one leg to a money line parlay. Chad, who you got?
And that's such a tough. That's an ask. I like Hawaii plus 184.
I like it. That's what you went with, and well, you said NC State, but it's about the same point, so that'll make the parlay value about the same. Brian, what's your piece?
As y'all see, I took.
All right. Well, just for safeties, I'm gonna throw TCU in there. But when I plugged that one in, that 3-team parlay got me to about plus 350, plus 400, depending on the site. So you got, because of Chad's money line. So if you got Hawaii as a 4-point underdog, you get Y on the money line, TCU on the money line, and who'd you go with, Brian? New Mexico State or UNLV? All right. So if you get that 3 winners, that's a pretty juicy parlay that wouldn't suck. So, all right, Chad, who's the team in the 3-way that blows it?
Mine.
Yours, probably, since you went with the. But yours is the one that gives us value.
I've gone back and forth between North Carolina State and Hawaii. I mean, we've emailed this back and forth, and I said Hawaii a minute ago, and you're like, yeah, but you emailed North Carolina State, bro. God, it's so tough. I want to add value to it, but like, I mean, when you're in this like 5 to 6 point range, or 4 or 3, ugh, it's so rough. I'm still gonna.
I don't know that I would advise anybody to do this, but if you're a total degenerate and you like having a little fun, and you have some faith in Chad's model, a little NC State Hawaii money line parlay might be worth a sprinkle of 15 or $20.
$15 for sure. I mean, that's a good day. Even if you lose, you had a little bit of entertainment. But if you win, it's a good day.
All right, so Brian, recap our whiskey and winners teaser and our whiskey and winners money line parlay before we start wrapping things up for the night.
All right, I'm gonna give you that, but I'm gonna give you my last official play. All right, my last official play is gonna be in the Montana State Utah Tech game. Montana State, number 1 ranked team in UTS. Utah State is rebuilding. Montana State is returning Jason Lamson as a quarterback, 3,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns. He's had 700 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns. Taco Dowler as their 100th All-American Titan flex the offensive line. They're playing in the Utah, so 97 to 100 degrees in the Utah. Are they all really ready for that one? We are here in Georgia, but I don't know about Utah and Montana. Yeah. So I'm going to take play, and I know this came out of nowhere. They both want to run the ball. They both want to chew the clock. Get players out of the game when it's that hot. I'm under 57.5. Montana State Utah Tech game, and then going to your question on my combined parlay. Chad's pick at Hawaii. I got Greg at TCU, and I got me at UNLV. And then on our combined teaser, I got Chad's pick UNLV and Memphis over 49.5.
I don't hate the Memphis. I like that.
And the Hawaii will be plus 11. Yeah, they're plus 4 now. All right, Chadwick, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here for the night?
I don't. Was there some confusion on like 2 plays ago? You said like I kind of went back and forth, like I maybe confused people.
No, I was just saying for the people that are following along, if you're a big fan of 2 underdogs straight up. You got NC State and Hawaii both winning outright. That might be worth the money line sprinkle.
Okay. Yep. I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of Whiskey and Winners. So I promise y'all, we studied the numbers, we broke down the matchups, we did the research, we put in the work, and then for some reason that none of us can explain, we decided to do a teaser and a money line parlay just for fun. So hey, clearly we're ready for college football. But here's the thing, guys. Look, this is for entertainment purposes only. Remember, only bet what you can afford to lose. Only drink what you can afford to regret. And I mean, never, ever, ever let one of us dumbasses you convince you that that third leg of the parlay is a lock. It ain't. I promise. That's the one that loses. Enjoy the games, guys. We'll be back next week to talk shit and celebrate our brilliance, or possibly explain why the refs, the weather, the coaching, the turnovers, and pretty much just the laws of physics screwed us over.
Yeah.
That's Whiskey and Winners. Good luck Saturday, guys. Hey, y'all, pour another one. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good luck, guys.